Good morning, everybody. I'd just like to thank BILD today for inviting us to talk about what works for us. My name's Lisa Clark and I'm the Managing Director of Sunderland People First.
My name's Sharon and I'm from Sunderland People First.
And I'm Jodie and I'm from Sunderland People First.
So, I'd just like to give you a little bit of background about who Sunderland People First are and where we've come from. Sunderland People First have come a long way since they first set up in 1994. The group was originally set up by Sunderland City Council as a self-advocacy group for people with learning disabilities, and it was a part of the council's range of learning disability day services. The aim was to provide the council with an effective way to find out the views of people with a learning disability in Sunderland. As a result of the Value in People White Paper in 2001, Sunderland People First played a major role in supporting the City of Sunderland's Learning Disability Partnership Board, which we still do to this day, and Sharon here is the co-chair of the board. However, as part of the local authority changes to all its services, Sunderland People First became a community interest company in May 2014, which for us has been really a real journey, a struggle at times, but very, very good. So as part of the work that we do, campaigns is one of the main focuses that we work on. We've worked with MenCap on changing places, that's nationally and locally. We campaigned where we now, Sunderland City Council, we, as part of our campaign, agreed that every single new build in the city would have a change in place when it's built. So we've got quite a few now. We successfully negotiated with Sunderland Football Club to provide free entry to carers of all people with a learning disability. And that, believe me, that was probably one of the hardest campaigns we have ever done. They weren't listening, but we made them. Our newest campaign is Safe Places. We've worked with Safe Places, we've worked with the local Northumbria Police, and we have now over 30 safe places across the city. We also produce easy read information. Some of our customers are NHS England. We've created regional and national documents for NHS England. Certainly an awful lot of them are around transforming care. We have created easy read documents for support agencies and care agencies, housing providers, the local authority, public health. This is just to name a few. We've done many more. We also deliver a lot of disability awareness training, personal assistance training to staff, hate and hate crime and anti-abuse training to people with a learning disability. Sunderland People First are one half of the North East Quality Checkers team, alongside Skills for People in Newcastle. These checks are to ensure that the practices, GP practices, are accessible to people with learning disabilities. And we are contracted by our local CCG to carry out a quality check on every single practice across Sunderland, and that's 51 in total. We also sit on the North East and Cumbria Transformation Board as part of the Confirm and Challenge group. And we also have done many care and treatment reviews. Through this work, Sunderland People First became recognised both locally and nationally for its work in improving lives of people with learning disabilities. And just in case you don't know, we won an award in May. And we are extremely proud of that. I'd now like to hand you over to Jodie, where she's going to share a little bit of her life with you.
So my name's Jodie. A year ago, I lived in a flat where I didn't feel safe. I couldn't have my friends or my fiance over to stay. My little dog Sally, she had to stay with my mum at my mum's house, as it was an upstairs flat, and me and my fiance, me and the dog had difficulty climbing the stairs, So I began to feel very isolated and alone when I was in the house. So my mum got in touch with the housing provider, Gen 2. I listened to what I had to say and what I needed, and arranged for other people to become involved in what was the start of finding a new place to live. I had an assessment with the occupational therapist, and they said that I needed somewhere that was suitable for myself and Gavin, my fiancé, to live. It has been a really good start to the year for me and my fiancé. I've now moved into my new bungalow. It's very accessible, which means that my fiancé and friends can visit me. This used to be very difficult for me in my old flat due to the stairs and limited space. My bungalow has lots of things which makes it easier for me to live independently. For example, the kitchen is open plan and has switches to control the height of the work surfaces, which means we can now share the cooking and cleaning in the kitchen. I've just bought Gavin some new marigolds and a pink in a pink frilly pinny. That is an apron for you who don't know. I am really happy because now I can spend lots more time with Gavin and we have some great times. One other thing that is really important to me is that my dog Sally can now live with me and she can go in the garden whenever she wishes. My bungalow is surrounded by lots of other houses and nearby extra care scheme, which I'm able to use where they play bingo, crafts, social afternoons, and a great cafe where you can eat in or take away. This makes me feel a lot more secure and safe in my neighbourhood. My bungalow is in a great location. It is close to the local shops and supermarket. I'm also close to the local bus routes, which is ideal for me because I need to travel to work most days. And I can see my family and friends whenever I want. Having my bungalow means so much to me as it gives me my independence. I have already had a couple of parties with my friends who love my new karaoke machine. And I have grown in confidence since moving in. This is what worked for me. So thank you for listening. I would like now to introduce you to Andrew Cowie. Andrew Cowie is a member of Sunderland People First. He would like to share a little bit of his life with you all.
This is me with my family. Mum, Dad, and Tony Ann. The Cowies.
The things you get us into, mate. Maybe later, alright?
I love chilling out with my friends on PlayStation. I call this the man cave. Every man needs one. My man cave is all about me and Cheryl Cole.
Wow, that is a monster drive down there. 315 yards.
It is very important for me to have space to meet up with my friends. We like nothing more than meeting up over a glass of wine and having a good old catch up.
Cheers, Andrew!
Get.
What did you do last weekend?
Well, I went to church and I had a drink with my friends, and I went to a pine piece.
How did it all start and what gave you the idea of you both moving out and Tony Ann and Andrew staying in the family home?
Well, they got from when they were younger, they were getting to leaving school and things like that, and everybody, I think all parents think then, what's the children going to do next in their lives? Mm-hmm. When things are a bit limited, so with Tony Ann, there was only the day centre. Yeah. We gave that a try for her. She enjoyed it for a little while.
Yeah, a couple of years.
She liked the social side of it, but things started changing. She liked the short breaks, that was okay for at the start. Andrew was coming up to leaving school.
Yeah, he was just coming into adult services.
Yeah, and again, you know, he did fancy going off to college, so he did that, but he didn't fancy going off to a day centre, which was absolutely fine. And short breaks, but they decided things were changing a lot with social services and things like that. It wasn't the same, so and they were quite restricted in what they were doing.
Yeah.
So we thought of a better way, if there was a better way of doing it. So at the time, you know, we had person-centred plan
Yeah.
a while ago. So we decided to have quite a few different people. There was some for Andrew. There was somebody from college. There was somebody from short breaks, which was Ben, and we had other people like the person-centred plan facilitators.
Yeah.
So that was David Close and somebody else at the
Somebody
time.
from the social side as well, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Can't remember
it's
offhand.
going a bit blurred now, I'm
And
afraid.
they were from the local authority.
Yeah.
Yes. So, and then us, because there's
Yeah.
something about us.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to talk about us without us.
Absolutely not.
So, and with Tony Ann as well, you know, it takes her a very long time to get to know people.
Mm-hmm.
So we thought, well,
Yeah.
let's do this short steps, little
Yeah.
steps. So decided what they would like to do best first of all. And it was just a night at the pub.
Yeah.
Something very, very simple.
Uh-huh.
People their age group
Yeah.
was essential.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's how we started. We got the staff together and things like that. We went through an agency at first.
Well, we got the individual, well, it wasn't the individual budget, it was direct payments at the time. So we were able to go through an agency and get young people of their own age
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
to sort of like help them out on the social side of things.
Yeah.
I mean, we've done a lot of the caring and that,
Yeah.
just to help out them in those sort of roles, you know, take them out of the pictures and stuff instead of going out with mum and dad all the time. Like, you know.
Yeah, it's all their social stuff.
Yeah.
You know, they don't want to be always hanging around mum and dad. We like going to the pub, but we didn't want to keep doing it.
Yeah.
You know, their age group and things like that.
And of course you need time for yourself as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was that sort of time, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And also they like to do the gigs at the Metro Arena,
Yeah.
things like that, you know, what young people want to do,
Yeah.
you know, and we just thought, well, that's not what we want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And then the short breaks thing, you know, just thought, let's try an overnight and things like that. And at first I went with them because that's what Tony and Andrew wanted, you know, and it made them feel better.
Mm-hmm.
And then once they got used to the staff and everything else, it just blossomed from there, didn't it? You know, but we just did it in very small steps.
Yeah.
But we have planned this. I think I do need to emphasise that.
Yeah.
You know, you do have to think about things. How are you going to get to this, to that?
Well, it started off with a personal centre plan.
Yeah.
We sort of planned ahead, like 5 years, where we would like to be from here in 5 years' time. So
Well, I did
we
have
sort
an
of
overall
like tried to
plan.
plan ahead. But that was always part of the original plan was, yes, we'll eventually move out,
Yeah.
but we wanted to take it in steady. Like 5 years we'll get to this stage, 10 years we'll get somewhere else.
Yeah. So.
And then, like the 15 years, we weren't doing any of the care at all.
Yeah.
So, and that's what we're like 10 years on. So we've built up the staff and things like
Well,
that.
we got the individual budget since then.
Uh-huh.
And so we were able to take on our own staff rather than go through an agency.
So 10 years on, you've moved out
Yeah,
and have your own home now.
yeah.
And Andrew and Tony Ann
Have their own lives.
share it.
They have their own lives, we have ours. And yes, Tony and Andrew shared, that's what they wanted to do. But that was the key, because we had the bungalow. It's local housing group.
Mm-hmm.
We always okayed it with them as well. You know, they knew, we made sure everybody knew what we were aiming to do.
Yeah.
And so they actually housed us. Tony and Andrew have here.
Mm-hmm.
And we've got our own home.
Yeah.
Absolutely fabulous.
Mm.
But we still have, we haven't let go yet.
Yeah.
You know, we still like to, but they would want to see us as well.
Absolutely, of course they do.
It works both ways.
Yes.
You know, so, and it just works for us.
So what would be your message to people here today?
I'd say plan, do your planning, and think of where you're going to be in 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, whatever it takes.
Mm-hmm.
Thinking outside the box.
And learning to let go. You just have to let go and believe in the stuff you've got around them.
There is no stopping me now. I love being the boss of my own life. I can make things better or fix problems with my support. I am in control. I am very pleased with myself. I feel great. I don't know what the future will hold, but I do know things are getting better. Big smiles all round.
Thank you, Andrew.
So that was Andrew and his family and their journey of services that they have encountered. As you got from the video, Andrew and his sister live in the family home, and mum and dad moved out, and it is quite unique in that sense. It's quite unique in Sunderland, certainly. But Andrew lives a very full and exciting life, and that's what works for him. So we're now going to hand you over to Sharon.
I'd like to share a little bit of my life with you all here today. I live with my mum, June Bell, and we mutually care for each other. Mutual caring is when someone who is being cared for also provides support to their family carer. We live in a bungalow in Sunderland, and we both have support from other family members. My sisters help me with things like the weekly shopping. I write the list out and they support me to the supermarket. On a Saturday, I pop into town to get a few essentials. I support my mum with lots of daily things, and she points me in the right direction when I need it. I'm a very independent person, but do need a little bit of help at times. We are both supported by the Carers Centre, as they recognise that at times we need a bit of extra support to help us live independent lives. I work at Sunderland People First most days. On a weekend and evenings I enjoy visiting friends, going to my chat and craft sessions at the church and shopping. I am an active member of my church, and I support a lot of the community work and my church is involved with. I have a lot of friends from my church and they support me when I need them. I have a great life and I love doing all the things I have just told you about. These things are very important to me. Closing statement is we all need a little or a lot of support from time to time. This can be formal support from services, but a lot of the support you have seen from us today comes from our families and friends. Services need to think about how they support and listen to people so that people can support themselves. This is what works for us. Thank you.